Hello and welcome everyone to Level With Me. Level With Me is my show where I play through games and talk about what I think the level design is doing. And today we are playing the Surface Tension chapter of Black Mesa. And if you're not familiar, Black Mesa is a remake of Half-Life 1 in the Half-Life 2 engine. That was like 15 years in the making or something, and I used to work on it in the early days, but now there's some very fine folks in charge of it now. Let's see, sorry I was a little bit late today. I had to bike to the post office to do some errands. That's why I'm wearing this hat, because my hair is all sweaty, and you know, gotta look good for the stream, right? But also, you know, it's important for gay people to wear baseball caps every now and then, because, you know, we have to butch it up a little bit, put straight people in their place a little bit, be like, look, I can look just like you. You never know if a gay person is around the corner. Okay, let's see. So where are we right now? So we just finished a big chapter called, oh, there's some blood on the door. We just finished a big chapter called Questionable Ethics a few weeks before. But now we are in Surface Tension. Oh, uh-oh. That's not good. Okay, let me just be a little bit sneaky here. There we go. It's called slicing the pie, folks. Slicing the pie. Okay, but it's not slicing the pie if you're like vertically slicing the pie, right? It's like, anyway, we need a new word for that, for a vertical slice of the pie. Okay, so we just got out of this big research facility with this really cool distinctive window set piece. We did a big fight in the lobby that you can kind of see through that window, but not really anymore. And now we are in this lovely parking lot, faithfully recreated. Even the encounter is a little bit the same. In the original, there's also a turret set up to catch you when you walk out this door. So it's still like pretty faithful. I don't remember there being a giant grunt fight. Oh, and look at all these dead people. Oh my goodness. Wait, is that another turret? Ah! Who's shooting at me? What is that? Wait, where is it? Oh, I think it's over there? Wait, I don't even know where it is. I still can't tell where it is. I see the laser. Oh, it's right there. Ah! There we go. Sneaky, sneaky. Any more surprise turrets? I don't remember there being two. I think that's like a level designer wink wink kind of thing. Like, oh, you thought you were safe, but actually you weren't safe. Very sneaky. God, those jets are really loud. Reminds me of all those annoying flybys they're doing to like honor first responders or whatever. Okay. Any more turrets out here to get me? Oh, we can just walk around, it seems, and enjoy the scenery. Okay, so this is a pretty standard looking parking lot. This feels bigger than the original. I'm just gonna go ahead and say, because, ooh, health and ammo. Because I think, yeah, I think part of it is, you know, you want to make it feel big because the player has been cooped up in like an underground. Before, the previous chapter was like the sewer level of Half-Life as well. So this, like, you know, this is like level designer flexing, you know, like, you know, trying to be like, look at how big this whole room is. Sorry, it's not a room. it's like a big, well, I mean, this comes back to like level designer kind of terminology where from a level designer perspective, everything is a room, right? Even this space is a room because an outdoor space is just a room with a sky ceiling, with a skybox ceiling. So it's basically the same thing when you're building it. There's no difference between indoors and outdoors, really. There's no treasure in here. Oh well. Anything else? Oh, there's some health. Anything in there? There's all this blue goop in there. I don't know what that is. Ew. I mean, you know, let's just, you know, get your mind out of the gutter. Let's just assume those are benign splotches. Did I miss any other supplies or ammo? A lot of health everywhere. I guess we did fight off like 4 or 5 of these soldiers just now outside, so the level designer's being a little bit generous here. Ooh, I like do you hear the engine? That's kind of cool. I wish the car was like, I wish the truck was like vibrating a little bit, you know? I love it when video game cars do that. Oh, there's some ammo up there. I should get all that. How did I miss this? Oh, I'm already full up on all my shotgun ammo anyway. Okay, I think we got everything. No, I got that. Got that. Anything else? No. So, this is a common Half-Life pacing kind of thing, where you like shoot everyone, and then after you shoot everyone, you get to walk around and explore and pick up all the goodies that you couldn't pick up before. So exploration is treated a little bit like a reward in Half-Life, and of course Black Mesa is no different. If we talk about the general level design, let me turn on my cheats real quick. Let's see, this is basically just a big box. Maybe that's the one critique I could level at this room, where it's literally a square, right? And it doesn't necessarily feel so artificial when you're down there, which is maybe why it doesn't really matter that much. But if, you know, you want to be like a level designer perfectionist a little bit, here I think the obvious critique would be, this is still very boxy. We can tell what the blockout was, and it still basically resembles its original blockout. A little bit too much, maybe. Let's see, anything else? I like the attention to detail with all these handicap accessible, you know, parking spots in the front. It's a nice touch. We're all about OSHA compliance here at Black Mesa. Well, I like the car alarm thing. Ooh, and look at all this nice detail that someone modeled. Very fancy. It's a little bit strange that this is like sparking, but it's still on. Oh wait, no, it's like flashing on and off. Ooh, look at that detail. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. See, so I'm walking down here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the handicap decals here are backwards. But, you know, I think it's also, you know, you can also interpret this as like a general symptom where clearly one of the environment artists in Black Mesa source is not an American. They're probably British, and this British person hasn't really been to the West Coast. So, you know, it's a hard problem, right? You always just get these small things that feel slightly off. You know, if you asked me to build a level set in the UK, which I actually am for my upcoming game, there's just a lot of things that are just totally like wrong, but it's only wrong to people who live there, right? And who notice these small, seemingly insignificant details, right? So again, if we wanted to nitpick the accuracy of this, yeah, this should be flipped horizontally, facing the other way. Also, there wouldn't be this much caution striping right here. Also, if the road is this torn up, the road markings wouldn't be this clear either. Like, they would be more faint and like kind of rubbed out a little bit, and the parking dividers would not be so thick as well. There would be very thin little lines probably, and they would probably be barely even there. You'd also be considering that, yeah, these parking spots wouldn't really be designed necessarily for these like 4-door coupe kind of cars. They would be based more around like trucks and Humvees, right? So the parking spots are also just too narrow. They should probably be wider. But, you know, it's not a big deal. It's fine. You know, let the British environment artists live, right? Let them live. It's fine. Oh, ah! And these soldiers need to let me live too. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna try to... Oh my god. Wait, I can't... Did I get him? Oh my god. They are totally just destroying me right now. Did I get him? I think I should not be using the crossbow here. I'm not usually this bad at games, I swear. Oh my god, I'm just getting destroyed. I'm getting just dragged. Who's shooting at me? Are they behind me? Oh god.
Seek medical attention.
I can't even see what that is. Oh no, it's stuck in the... There we go. Oh man, I just totally got destroyed. I'm gonna backtrack and pick up all the health I just lost. Man, yeah, that was not the ideal way to do that encounter. But you know, that's always a tricky balance, right? How do you design the encounter so that the player blames themselves instead of blaming the level designer? I mean, it was just so hard. They had the height advantage, so I was just like, what am I supposed to do, right? They also have this railing that's giving them a little bit of soft cover that they can easily shoot over. And then this guy right here was holed up in this bunker with... I mean, maybe the ideal thing would have been to throw a grenade. Could I have grenaded him? No, my grenade doesn't throw that far. I guess I was supposed to run up here, duck behind here, but then I'm exposed to these grunts up here. Yeah, it's not really clear to me what the ideal play would have been. I think maybe I would have given the player a little bit more of an option here. Is there a door up here? No. Oh, I could have just gone through this door. But this didn't look like... You'll notice, if you watch the stream, I actually thought this was a locked, inaccessible door, because I didn't even see the doorknob here, right? If you're looking at this door from here, I can't even see the doorknob. Oops. Yeah, I guess I should have gone through here? And then this fight would have felt a little bit better, because then I could have hidden behind these pillars while I take out these two grunts. And then as I dash from pillar to pillar, I'll get close enough to get into good grenade range or something. I think the compromise I would do as a level designer here is I would build up some tall cover, like right here, and give the player an option to like jump up to this upper level a little bit. You know, you can see that I just was able to do that, but I would signpost that a little bit more, you know, almost like Uncharted style maybe. Just to let the player feel like they're improvising a little bit more and give them another option. Just because down here, this felt like a death trap. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. Like, this car doesn't even give me good cover from that gun emplacement. Oh well. And the grunts in Black Mesa are just so punishing. I like all the set dressing and how they built this out though. Ooh, donuts. Let's see, what else is going on here? Of course the gun emplacement is accessible, but now it's pretty useless. It's fine. Anything else? I mean, just realize that each of these little rocks here was hand placed by a level designer. And most of these props were hand placed. All this like set dressing, all these decals, scattered papers, of course. To make it feel more like it's this improvised gun emplacement that the grunts have set up kind of painstakingly, actually. Okay, what else is going on in this room? I like the concrete texture. I'm a fan of this concrete texture because I think the normal map works well on it. And it feels very bunkery. And, you know, some points for this curved construction a little bit. I think the lighting feels a little bit too spotty to me, though. Almost feels kind of unreal-like. And I mean that in a pejorative sense. Sorry, Joe Wintergreen. Where it's just like the level designer wanted some good coverage everywhere, so then he just duplicated all these spotlights everywhere, and then you just have these like kind of obnoxious halos that don't even make sense on these fixtures. Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have lit this a little bit differently. It's a bit of a shame though that here I think this area is meant to be a little bit open to encourage you to use it as a combat arena. But then we don't actually get to use it as a combat arena because I think most players will just hang back there and try to snipe all the grunts, kind of like how I did. Let's see. Oh, people in the chat are saying set dressing like this would be much easier to place now if you were working in Source 2, where if you've messed around with Half-Life Alyx Source SDK tools, there's an updated version of the level editor Hammer, and they have this cool physics brush where you can like sprinkle things around. That's actually becoming increasingly common kind of tool set in more game engines these days. Like you could probably code something similar in Unity or Unreal if it's not already there. But it always feels like magic, right? To use physics inside the level editor, that's kind of cool. Let's see. The lighting here is very dependent on this as the main key light source. When you have these dynamic caution lights, you know, that's trying to signal that something is wrong here, that everything feels more chaotic, right? With this kind of strobing dynamic effect. I think it kind of works. But when you just sprinkle emergency lights everywhere, though, you know, like, there's just not much to do with it in the end. Oh, and now we're in an airlock? Now we begin surface tension proper. Ooh, look at that grunt. I'm gonna snipe him. Oh, wait, there's a guy there? Ah! Wait, did he just shoot a grenade at me? That is so not fair. I didn't even know grunts were allowed to do that because that gives you 0 time to react. There's all these explosions going off in the distance, but I don't really know what's happening. Oh, and the grunts strafe so much in this game, like, sniping feels useless against them. Oh, there we go. Is that all of them? There's a comment in the chat by Zakage that this tunnel feels a little bit narrow. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think what would help is if you didn't have, well, first of all, it feels weird to have a square door in this rounded tunnel. And second of all, I think if it just didn't have this lane marking, if it was more like a single lane tunnel, you know, might have felt a little bit better. Let's see, what else are people saying in the chat? Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, one of those narrow city streets. Also, it's common, there's a lot of road tunnels outside the US where it's often single lane tunnels. Like I was in New Zealand earlier this year, and there's a lot of tunnels in New Zealand where it's single lane. You have to, there's like a light, there's a signal where you have to wait for your turn to go into the tunnel. So it's not uncommon. Any supplies in here? Nah. I like the attention to detail putting this little security booth here. I think I will have put a window right here though. Feels a little bit awkward. I like that there's a map here. It implies that, yeah, this is like a base of operations for the soldiers. Yeah, there's all this cool stuff here, but then I don't get to use any of it. Like, for instance, right here, I think the better play would have been if I ran up to here, hid here, then I like fight some of them here, fight some of them there, then I run over here, duck behind this dumpster, this convenient dumpster for some cover, or duck behind here for some cover or something, right? But when the grunts are firing at me from so far away, I just hold up here and sniped them. And I feel like that's just what I've been doing for most of this game. I wish the grunt engagement distance was much shorter range, and then, or if they stopped and didn't fire at me so much, I think that would encourage me to be more aggressive and rush forward more. In the chat, Vodsel asks, was this level the ending of Black Mesa before the Zen update? Can't answer that, I don't remember. But I think, yeah, before the Zen update, it went up to Lambda Core. It was all the Earth chapters. Spoiler alert. Let's see. So, what's going on in this chapter? This room feels okay. You know, it feels like this is some kind of, you know, like storage depot, utility, way station kind of thing. So I think it works. But yeah, it's just a little bit sad that I didn't actually get to fight in this arena. This rock arch feels a little bit weird. It feels like someone just like sculpted it a little bit too much. Maybe it doesn't feel realistic to me for some reason. But then again, I'm not even a rock arch expert. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Is there anything here? Oh, here's some supplies. That was a big haul. Got some magnum ammo. Got a battery or two. Okay, and then this is the big set piece of this chapter. This is the dam. This is a big set piece that was probably one of the first things that... Oh my god, rude, excuse me. Got that guy in one hit. That's not so bad, right? I'm just like trying to pixel hunt, snipe them though. Wait, what was that explosion? Did I just shoot a grenade out of the air? Anyway. Oh wait, oops. Oh, I didn't realize I could toggle iron sights. Oh well. What was I saying before I was really interrupted? Oh yeah. So here's a nice spot. So yeah, this is the Hydroelectric Dam. This is probably one of the main iconic set pieces that a lot of people remember from Half-Life. So if I recall correctly, this was, yeah, one of the first levels that got remade. I think this is technically the second or third version of this. The original chapter owner on this, I believe, was Spencer Rose, but like me, Spencer left the project fairly early in the Black Mesa 10 or 15 year life cycle, so it's probably gone through other hands. So right now, this is the current incarnation. The dam is, I think, just really challenging to build because, first of all, you have these really long sight lines, so you have to build this giant, impressive thing, but also cram like a million bits of detail in there too. So it's also something where you have to like put so much work into optimizing it as well. It's one of these kinds of things where you have to plan for it from the beginning and be really careful about how you're building it. So you might get a few hints about how this got optimized. I'm gonna turn on the wireframe and hope this doesn't crash the game. Let me see. Oh, Jesus. So you'll notice that the big key optimization that the Black Mesa devs have done here is that all the terrain geometry has been modeled, or almost all of it, it seems. Some of the low poly stuff is still displacement, but if you see all these big waves of blue and teal, again, a reminder of what that means. That means it was something that an environment artist built in like Blender or Maya or 3ds Max. And you'll notice that a majority of that cliffside and a lot of that detail is sculpted detail by the environment artist. The main reason why you would want to do that is because just notice how much more dense these meshes are. The static prop stuff is static meshes are a lot cheaper to render in any game engine versus anything handmade in a level editor or something. So if you were working on Unreal, you would actually probably work in a very similar way. You would try to gray box like a very vague rough cliff shape, and then you would sprinkle in the actual detailed rock chunks. And if you've played games like Skyrim or something, they work in a similar way, where there's like a general like height mapped displacement kind of low poly terrain, and then they put in the actual detailed chunks later on top of that low poly geometry. So yeah, you can see just the vast majority of this detail the static props are doing a lot of work here, and the fill rate is just killing my computer right now, and it's just killing the frame rate. But you'll notice that red wireframe stuff in the middle, that's level geometry. That's what a level designer has built in the game engine. So usually the hard surface stuff, the red stuff, is usually really good for the level editor or the level designer to work with, and then the blue stuff is usually stuff that is more decoration, set dressing, stuff like that. There, that's better. Ooh, I think I've said this before, but I really like how the cactus props have come out in this game. They're actually pretty detailed, some really nice, like, look at all those individual spines, you know, those are all individual, like, little spine cards that had to be hand placed by the environment artist. Right, it's like a triangle strip that's going along, and I think you know it's kind of like how you would do hair on a human. But it's worth it because this is the kind of thing that you would look at close up. I'm deathly afraid of spiny cacti in real life, though, so this is a wonderful fantasy for me to, like, just put my nose and rub it all over a cactus. Oh, in the chat, Adam Maximum told me to use the explosive barrels. You mean these? Oh, well, sorry. You know, if they're not red, I'm not gonna notice them. They need to be red, they need to be glowing. These look like poop barrels in this giant poop puddle. This wheelbarrow full of poop. Oh, this rock thing, this has Fallout energy. This rock prop right here, this has Fallout New Vegas energy just all over it. Partly because it's lower resolution than the rest of it. But partly just because the rock shape is just so... It doesn't seem to fit with the rest of the geometry, you know? But, you know, we stand the Fallout New Vegas. You know, that's not so bad. Oh, ouch! Who's shooting at me? What is that? I should get out my crossbow. I have to reload it? Come on. Ah. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah, and the very dark ambient occlusion, yeah, and then the really heavy reliance on the albedo to do so much of the detail. Yeah, I think that's what gives it, like, Fallout New Vegas energy. Oh no, they closed the door on me. Rude. Wait, who closed it on me? What? I don't know why. Just the timing on that was so funny. Is there a guy in this booth? Who closed the door on me? How do I sneak in? Oh, I have to jump on here. There we go. Oh, ouch. Oh, I'm getting destroyed. Oh. Well, that didn't go well. At least these grunts stand still. Okay, let's do that encounter a different way. I'm just gonna throw a bunch of grenades at them. Let's try that. Oh wait, where'd this guy come from? What? Is that what killed me last time? Oh my god, that grunt isn't even staying in cover. Like, they're just mocking me. Ugh. I should have just turned on God mode. Sorry about that. I thought my grenade plan was gonna work. But they're scripted to disperse really fast, so the grenades don't quite get them. Maybe if I pre-grenade a little bit. Oh, and then this guy's hiding here. This little looky-loo. Shooting at me still. Oh, this guy. Oh, and then just aggroed all of them. You know what, dude? I don't have any more crossbow. Ah! Okay, there we go. Let's go get some health now. Wait, how do I even get into there? Oh, it's all fenced off. I didn't even understand that this was all fenced off.
Power 30%.
Oh, look at all the ammo they just gave me. They just gave you like 1,000,000 Gauss gun ammos and 1,000,000 crossbows. I guess that's like a hint about what to do in this next set piece. Let's see. Okay, so before we rush forward, let's try to talk a little bit about the level design. Oh, his little beret. Oh, oh, and his cigar. Oh my god. Environmental storytelling, people. Look at that. Very tragic. Let's see. So, I think what I like about this encounter works better, I think. But it's still a little bit annoying, but more because of the grenades. How grenades work in this game is, I think any other game, when a grunt throws a grenade at you, in any other shooter, there's like a flashing indicator so you know that there's a grenade there. Black Mesa is very retro in that it doesn't really signal that grenade. And the grenade moves so fast and it's so small, it's so easy to miss. So then you'll just die by explosion and not even know that you were going to get hit by the grenade. So that's one problem that makes this fight a little bit annoying. Just because it'll feel unfair for grenades to suddenly kill you. But in terms of the general formal flow here, I kind of liked how this is a one-way drop here, right? Once you jump off, jump over here with the gate closed behind you, you can't stay here because there's a grunt right here who's shooting at you. And you can't really duck here either because that's not really going to help you either. So you end up having to like fight from here or fight from there. Or fight from here, which is what you saw me do. But I think if most shooter gamer type people would be really reluctant to charge forward there, unless you're like a speedrunner or something, because that will just aggro another mob to come at you, and then you'll be sandwiched by two mobs surrounding you. If I recall, Half-Life 1 grenades, for some reason, there was much the sound design on Half-Life 1 was just a little bit more solemn. So whenever a grunt would say grenade, it would be very distinctive when you heard them say grenade. And also when grunts threw grenades, it would always have the same sound when it hits the ground. So when you hear the telltale like clink, clink, clink of the grenade in Half-Life 1, you know there's a grenade there. And also the grenade is like sparking and giving off smoke, and it just sits on the ground for actually a solid second or two before it actually explodes. So Half-Life 1 grenades, yeah, were very generous. And also the Half-Life 1 grunts were also just much more charmingly slapstick in that they would often grenade themselves or drop a grenade instead of throwing a grenade, which I thought was nice. Also, yeah, you'll notice Half-Life 2 solves the grenade problem by making it blink a lot with a giant red trail, and it's like going beep, 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 right? I think that's one improvement probably that the Black Mesa team should definitely invest in, because I don't think anyone misses that part of 90s of 90s first-person shooters, not knowing when there's a grenade next to you. I don't think anyone's particularly nostalgic for that, so you should probably update that for our current times. Let's see, anything else about this encounter? I like how it's kind of open. I think I would replace this fence, though. I don't like how it's so see-through. Like, if I'm standing here, I actually didn't know that there was another fence on the other side over there. So I think I will replace that with probably slats or something. Let's see, anything else we can critique here? Yeah, I like this concrete boy here. And these tall windows, this is one reason why level designers, environment artists often like building dams. Go play any first-person shooter level with a dam, and there's always going to be one of these concrete boys with tall windows. Because, you know, this is just one of the beautiful things, really, about like modernist industrial architecture, right? This is basically the modernist equivalent of a cathedral. You know, we don't build cathedrals anymore, right? We build giant hydroelectric dams. And in particular, this dam is just, I think, clearly modeled probably off like Hoover Dam and several other dams in the American Southwest. By the way, you should all, you know, if you ever go on a road trip, I recommend definitely drive through Hoover Dam. It's real fun. Oh, and go on the tour, too. Hoover Dam is like a really fun thing where you like sit in the theater and you get to go inside the dam. And then when you get to go inside Hoover Dam, you like suddenly you're like, oh, I get it. This is like that other video game level where those game developers went on this tour of Hoover Dam as well. Let's see, in the chat, Silent W asks, what about the flanking routes? Feels a little cramped. Yeah, I mean, obviously in the middle here, this is a big no man's land here. I think the flow that the average player is supposed to do is to go around here like this. And then if they were a little bit more adventurous than me, I think another player would have flanked them like this, killed these two guys, run into here, and then use this concrete pillar right here as their main cover to, like, you know, play a little ring around the rosy and snake around a little bit. I think I would make that easier, though. I would probably replace this door with another wide garage door, kind of like this one, to make it easier for the player to circle strafe and fight any grunts that stayed in here. Because I think I think that's when Half-Life combat arena design is the best, when you're constantly bouncing between outdoors and indoors a little bit. You feel more like an action hero, and it's just more interesting from an architectural flow perspective to keep bouncing in and out like that. Level designer Adam Foster, he was just a pro at designing that kind of flow. You know, the levels he made for Nightwatch were just some of the finest levels ever played. Fighting the grunts in that was just a blast. It was great. Let's see in the chat. Let's see. Oh, Headcrab Jesus says in the chat you can't drive over the dam before they have a bridge. Oh no. When I did it maybe a year or two ago, you had to drive across the bridge one way and then you snake back across another bridge. So you drive over the dam and it's like one way, but to get back to the highway, you have to take a bridge back. So that's what it was for me. Anyway, oh, someone in the chat also mentioned let's look at the skybox a little bit. Let's see, that skybox. Yeah, again, the sight lines are just so big. So this giant space must have taken so long to finalize and optimize and finish. The skybox here is, yeah, I totally agree. That's doing so much work here. The one maybe silly thing about Black Mesa skyboxes is that, you know, you looked at Monument Valley, like one time you saw one photo of Monument Valley and then you're like, I just want to slather Monument Valley all over Black Mesa. So you just get these beautiful rock mesas, just, or buttes or whatever, just everywhere, but it just feels a little bit silly in Disneyland when you do spam them like everywhere. Like that's not how they form really, but you know, it's okay not to be realistic. You know, this is like an action hero fantasy of New Mexico or Arizona, so maybe that's okay. But I would say, yeah, it does feel a little bit Disneyland, to me at least. I was watching the No Clip documentary of the Arcane folks the other day, and it's really lovely. You should watch it on YouTube if you haven't. There's one really great comment by the art director at Arcane, and he talks about how he was playing BioShock 1 and then just stopped playing BioShock 1 in the beginning because in the first chapter BioShock 1 there's all this luggage everywhere, and he was so upset about how big and chunky the luggage props were that he just stopped playing BioShock out of disgust. And then later he was told that he would have to work on BioShock 2, and then he was like, oh shit, well, I guess I'll make the luggage small in BioShock 2. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. That kind of reminds me, that's like a very similar mood of comment to me complaining about these Monument Valley buttes. It's like, no, you shouldn't have this many mesas in the skybox. When I remake Black Mesa, I'm gonna put fewer mesas and they're gonna be smaller in the skybox. Shouldn't I be fighting like a helicopter right about now? Oh, there it goes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait. Ah. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dying. I'm dead. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, there's no cover. Where am I supposed to go? I think I'm just gonna stand here and die. Wait, what was I supposed to do? I don't even understand what I was supposed to do. Okay, so this encounter actually plays out pretty differently from the original. I think I distinctly remember in the original Half-Life 1, I actually stuck around the Half-Life 1 equivalent of like this area, and then the chopper was already out, and then I just Gauss gunned it to death. But here it seems they want to, in Black Mesa, they want to lure you out to the middle of this death trap no man's land. But it's so hard to fight this chopper. Ah. Is it not dead yet? There we go. Wait, is it dead? No, it just flew away. What? Oh. Okay. Well, that's a little anticlimactic. What? I thought I was gonna blow it up. Okay, well... Well, that's that. Sometimes life is just disappointing like that. Now I have to snipe whoever was shooting at me up here? I can't see what's going on up there. Was there a guy up there who was shooting me? I guess not. Or was I supposed to use these gun emplacements to shoot at the Apache? Maybe I was supposed to do that? Huh. I mean, yeah, okay, I guess, yeah, the helicopter was shooting rockets and its machine gun at me. I guess that's what was happening. Yeah, it feels a little bit strange. I wish that fight went down a little bit different. And I think in the original Half-Life 1, what the other thing that makes this fight difficult is that there's a giant, like, tank turret shooting, like, mortar shells at you from around here. But it seems like that's not here in this version. Okay, before we duck down, let's just admire some of the construction here. I like the railings. Ooh, and then there's like destructed railings too. This feels pretty authentic to Hoover Dam. It's a little bit too chromy though. I think it would be more rusted though. It feels a little bit strange how shiny and blue it is. Let's see what else is here. Oh, we can't go inside these little substation boys. But I just love, you know, nothing beats a good beveled cube, right? I love these beveled cubes, but more from far away. Up close, I don't like the texture on it because the base albedo is really too low res and it relies way too much on the detail overlay on it. And when you zoom in on that detail overlay, it just looks so splotchy and not the best. Let's see, anything else? I like how bleached the road texture is. Okay, so this is a really nice road texture. This is exactly what I associate with like Route 66 or something, right? With this just like decaying military infrastructure kind of feel. This is beautiful. I like this road texture. But yeah, I think in the original... Oh. Yeah, you're much more pressured to jump into the water, and then you feel like more of an action hero when you do that. But it's hard to get the player to do that. But on the other hand, when I'm shooting my Gauss gun, and I don't even get to kill the helicopter, it feels a little bit like I was cheated, and that doesn't feel quite satisfying either. I think if I were remaking this and doing another pass, level design pass on this, I would probably try to put a lot more work into signposting that the player should jump off into the water and then fight the dinosaur that they don't know is in there. Because that's kind of how the original is supposed to play out too. You feel like an action hero when you jump out, and you're actually not really supposed to kill the Apache helicopter. The Apache helicopter is supposed to be this nemesis Mr. X type figure that haunts you for the rest of the chapter. I think that's kind of why in this Black Mesa remake, they've hard-coded it so that the Apache runs away when you wound it, so they have an excuse to bring back the Apache later. But then that's also a bit of a shame, because that's one of the nice things about Half-Life, you know, that these levels can play out very differently based on how you did kill the helicopter. Or if the helicopter did play more like the Half-Life 2 helicopter, where it does these like bull runs at you, and when it does these bull runs, it's easier to shoot at, and it's also more slow and swoopy. Anyway, sorry, blah blah blah. Let me jump into this water. So I think most players would jump in here, and then they're like, oh shit, there's a dinosaur here, I'm gonna shoot at it. Wait, I can't shoot at it. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. But it looks like you can just do this. And then it's not that big of a deal. That's kind of anticlimactic. You can just kind of like water ski along the water, and then they can't catch you. Oh well. I mean, I'm playing on normal difficulty. Maybe it's different when someone else plays it. I don't like how this sign is stretched so horizontally. A lot more crossbow ammo. Maybe I should make sure I'm reloaded. Yeah, I guess I'm just too good at video games. That's the problem. Sorry, folks. Okay, so I have to pull this switch. Oh. Particle effect looks really weird. The splash sprite, the animated splash sprite is like really low resolution. Right, okay, so I think what is happening here is let's see. So we pull this switch, right? And that's supposed to clue you in that it's a drain cap. And now we're able to jump in here. Ooh, I like the signposting on this is much nicer. In the original, there's very little signposting actually that you're supposed to go into these drains now. But here there's like a particle vacuum effect that I think works a lot better in terms of telling the player what to do. But it still looks just a little bit awkward. Like, is that realistic? Maybe not. I don't know what water actually does. Now, in the original, I don't quite remember what happens, because one weird thing about it is, I think there's two different things. One is that technically water will just... Oh, oops. Well, I just hit that kill trigger that I was just about to talk about. So water in Half-Life, if you hit water at any point, you negate all fall damage. So there's one really obvious exploit with this type of level design and set piece and flow, where our job was we had to pull that switch so that we go in the pipe and then go into this water. But there's an alternate possible flow where the player up there is where we started, right? Technically, a really good player, could have just jumped off that ledge and then landed in this water and skipped that entire section, right? So I don't quite remember what the original Half-Life 1 does here. It might have left this channel dry with 0 water, and then when you flip that switch, it raises water dynamically. It might have been that. Or the other thing that might have been happening is that this is actually 2 different rooms, and when you went in that black drainage pipe, it actually teleported you to a second room with water. So I don't quite know what happened here. It seems like here, though, they just added a kill trigger while also using the teleportation kind of trick, where you can see we started up there, and then all those pushes in that. That's why the pipe had to be so dark, so yeah, you don't really notice what's actually happening when it funnels you back out here. Because just the scale of this is so different, right? Look at how high up we were before and how much lower we had to be. It's really hard to make the player swim all that. Because theoretically, if you let the player to just swim all the way from there to there, you might actually like run out of oxygen. It might even be impossible. So it's tricky. This whole set piece is just tricky for a lot of reasons, for optimization, game design. It has to do 3 or 4 different things and support 3 different fights and encounters, and also 2 different puzzles. It's just a lot to do. So, yeah, building this level is just a huge, major challenge for anyone. But on the other hand, dams are really fun to build, so. Let's see, the one thing I'd like you to admire here is just how, oh, oops, I just triggered the kill trigger again. So in case you haven't noticed, that kill triggers to catch the player if they try to do that level skip and jump down into the water, then that just triggers the restart. Okay, I'll try to stay a little bit low this time. One thing I distinctly remember a lot is just on the dam, one other third tricky thing is you want really high detail light maps on the dam to help show. It's kind of like a mirror's edge effect where this is just a beautiful, pristine concrete surface. So you want to crunch as much detail as you can as possible and like guitar solo this light map and shove it in the player's face. So that's a little bit of what's happening here. The sun angle is just so specifically designed to try to catch this dam at a grazing angle so that you get this lovely half in shadow portrait key light effect here. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see. I think I've one critique of this area, the environment art here, is that the rocks just feel way too, like, fractally, way too sculpty. It's really hard to read what the medium scale shapes here. The large shapes are very clear, and then the small shapes are very clear, but the medium shapes that are so hard to get in rock sculpting, it's like, it's hard to read the story of these cliffs, so to speak. That would be my critique of this environment art here, where it just looks like a lot of fried chicken. Or if you want to be less charitable, it looks like poop a little bit. I mean, I don't necessarily want to say that because I think that might be a little bit too mean. So I'm just gonna say, yeah, a little bit too much of the fried chicken texture going on here. I think part of it is just because it's so orange and it's so monotone. I think here you need some really good obvious gradients to try to unify the whole rock face. Otherwise it's just all the same orange, you know, the same brownish tone, and it doesn't read like a nice shape. It reads like a displacement, and then you put some Skyrim rock meshes on top. People in the chat are saying I need more fiber if this is what my poop looks like. Buddy, you don't know the half of it, okay? And then Tugala in the chat says, oh, and there's like a push trigger in the water. That's kind of nice. It's like floating along in a tube on the river. Tugala asks, would you have put a kill plane up there or leave it out? I think my instinct would have been, I think as a level designer, my personal thing is I really like bugs and exploits, and I always like leaving bugs and exploits in, unless it's like confusing, then it's bad. But if it like breaks the game, that's kind of cool. Like, kind of breaking the game is when a video game like reaches out and touches you, when you realize you can break it. So I think that's probably what I would have done. I would have left out the kill plane and let the player do a giant GoldenEye 007 style swan dive into that water. Because, you know, if they break the game and skip all your hard work, I don't know, that's okay. That's what speedrunners are going to do anyway. You know what a speedrunner would do? A speedrunner would take the Gauss gun here, charge it up, and then do some weird Gauss jump where they teleport entirely through the rocks themselves anyway. So you might as well help them make beautiful exploits instead of the exploits where it's like a Dark Souls kill cam bug where you can't even see what's happening. Those are beautiful in their own way too, but I think a beautiful exploit is like, you know, really nice in its own way. Oh gosh, and now, ooh, and look at that war-torn American flag. Oh my goodness. Political statements. No, not really. Okay, and now we're in the, this is actually one of the parts of surface tension that I like, personally. Where the layout of this entire section, I think, is really interesting. And it's actually a little bit unusual, where there's just all these interesting mixes of like going from narrow to open to narrow. You know, there's a lot of verticality to this section. Right now we're down here at the bottom. Ah! Where'd the other head crab go? Ah! Where there's like these fun nooks to explore. We're like in a sewer. We have to fight these sewer head crabs. Well, I like the detail on this broken concrete tube thing. Yeah, I just like it here because this is where this is platforming, but it's platforming in a traversal navigation sense, not necessarily in like, oh, do you have good reflexes, can you like time this jump perfectly. Oh, there's our good friend the Apache. What I like about this is that it's like, where do I go, how do I get there? I think those are the kinds of puzzles that I like the best in level design. Oh, it's really weird. That's really weird. That doesn't work at all. It's supposed to be like a water mesh decal, but it just feels wrong. It feels like there's something cloaked there instead. It feels like the predator is invisible there waiting for me, like a sewer predator. I don't know. Yeah, that's really strange. Yeah, it's like weird heat wave distortion. I don't know. Let's see, anything else? Oh, there's like a little rope here. I can't catch that rope. Also, I'm just a big, huge sucker for these really tall canyon kind of set pieces and level design as well. Technically, this is two hallways that meet together at a 90-degree angle, right? Can everyone see that? So in terms of flow, it's super boring, but when you elevate it like this, and I'm able to look upwards, and then there's the sun and the American flag, you know, it's like I'm staring up at God, you know? It's, again, this like cathedral kind of effect that I like. I also like this rock texture a little bit. Here you can see more of that with that medium scale structure that I was critiquing the previous cliff face for. Here, this rock texture is so much nicer because you can feel like, oh yeah, there's like different structures to this rock face. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm a much bigger fan of this cliff texture than the other ones. This is also a nice palette cleanser in that this is like a traversal puzzle. Wait, what? Why didn't I... What? It didn't let me grab the rope. What just happened? I was just about to applaud this game. Why? What? Can I not grab onto ropes? Okay, well, I guess I'll just let it go. Like, I do know I have to walk on this ledge, but it seems like they set it up precisely for me to be able to jump up over on that rope as well. So that's a little bit weird. Oh well. Ooh, avalanche. Oh, that texture seems a little bit much, though. Oh, well. And then there's like a little concrete boy here for me. Oh, look at these hound eyes. I'm not gonna kill these hound eyes. Oh, wait. Okay, I'm gonna die soon. Maybe I do have to kill these hound eyes. But they're so cute. Can I press E to... No? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the rope. I think I'm just gonna move on. But let's take a quick little look here. So now that we've climbed up from that little climbing puzzle, right? Now we get to, like, play with our little hound eye friends in this big sandy open space. And it's like refreshing. You know, this is like a little dog run, you know? Oh god, they're following me. Uh-oh, where am I supposed to go? Oh, through this door. Okay. Oh, ah! I like that they kept the ragdoll silly from the crossbow physics. That always feels nice. Did I get them all? I think I did. And there's the American flag. By the way, this is something that Americans don't actually know, but outside of America, it's actually not, well, maybe in like mainland China, but it's not super common to wave your nation's flag everywhere. In America, this is actually something we take for granted, where you're just supposed to put flags everywhere. But when a lot of people visit America, that's one of the things they notice. In addition to America being really filthy and dirty and more depressing, they also realize that America has a lot of nationalism that they totally underestimate. So I'm glad Black Mesa brings that forward, brings that tradition to bear. These little cone boys. I don't know why these cones are here. I guess you just needed like a little spot of orange right here, right? Sure, why not? Let's see. I like these rocks. Texture seam is a little bit much, but it's okay. I like the overall shape though, and what they're trying to do. Uh-oh. Oh god. The hell? Who was he talking to? He was just like hiding behind this rock over here. What a little weirdo. He just let all his friends die and then hid behind that rock.
Power 80%. Power 95%.
Let's see. So let's talk about the layout on this room a little bit. So first of all, big points for just how unusual a lot of the layout here is. You know, there's barely a 90-degree angle in sight. So it feels very like Quake-like almost. It's almost like a deathmatch level actually. If you were oh, there's a ladder here, but if you put like a tunnel right here, put a tunnel right there, and let the player have a little bit more connectivity, this would actually like make an okay deathmatch level. You have this really great, it's like a mini dam a little bit, where you have this rounded, tall, concrete shape that coincides with this water and all this rock here. So still, it's like a mini dam set piece. But it is a little bit of a shame though that we don't, you put so much work into making some interesting flow here, where like theoretically the player could like duck into here. Oh, maybe not. I guess I can't, I don't fit here. I'm too big. Or there could have been an interesting fight here where I had to like sneak around the grunts, and then I run over here, and then I come up here, and then I catch him by surprise, like right here or something, you know? But for whatever reason, there's just... the kill time on the grunts is so short, their engagement distances are so long, that it doesn't encourage the fun Halo flanking stuff that I'm proposing would be better level design. Also, wasn't this different in Half-Life 1? If I recall in Half-Life 1, isn't this where there's like a bunch of mines and there's like head crabs hidden in the sand? Oh, I think I'm supposed to press this glowing green button. Oh, what? What was that? I heard all the hound eyes and then I saw them. Oh, look at this boy. Oh, look at all the hound eyes. Oh, they're coming to help me. Aww. Good boys. Well, that's weird. Aren't the hound eyes supposed to rush me now? No, instead they're like in cover mode. They're like hiding from me. Because they don't want to get sniped? The AI on them is really weird. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing right now. Maybe they like me. Maybe they love me so much. They're like wiggling in love. I guess that's what, you know, I'm the Hound Eye Whisperer. You know what? I think that's what happened. Oh, and then now we get to do the vertical. Okay, maybe it's not entirely wasted, because now we get to go in here to go up here. Maybe that works. That was weird, though. It spawned a single soldier. The hound eyes should have rushed out. The soldiers, I expected like 2 or 3 soldiers to rush out, and then the hound eyes to rush out, and then there's like a 3-way menage a trois battle going on. But then, yeah, it's strange. Oh, okay, here's the mine section I was just talking about. Danger, mines. So just to give you a sense of what these mines look like. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can see the mines. Oh. Wait, it kind of defeats the purpose if you can see the mines. No? Weren't the mines invisible in the original? Is that what mines actually look like? Is this better? I don't know if this is better or worse. Because on one hand, yeah, now the player can like optimally, you know, snipe all the mines. Where's that head crab going? I'm over here. Because I think yeah, before in the original, you didn't know where the mines were. And as Alien says in the chat, you had to waste a lot of your grenades to just, and all your explosives to try to tease out the mines and carve yourself a path. I mean, I don't think the original was that great, because that, you're right, that's not that interesting. But I don't know if this is as interesting either, because I think, here's what I think the intention of this kind of set piece is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a little bit like a trip mine deterrent, or like a barnacle deterrent, where you're supposed to sneak around the mines, and then when you sneak around the mines, these head crabs pop out. And the danger is that, not that head crab will hit you, but that head crab will actually miss you. And then when a head crab misses you, it'll fly over you and then trigger a mine, and then the mine is what kills you, right? That, I think, is supposed to be some of the intention here. But in both the original and in this remake, it doesn't quite hit that because the optimal player strategy is just so weird. Oh, ah! Oh, they knew I was gonna sneak around. Oh, someone in the... Ooh, was that a mine there? Oops. Someone in the chat says I should turn on the show connect so that we can see why the head crabs are pathing strangely. Oh, yeah. So if you're not familiar, pathfinding in Source Engine 1 relies on a very old-fashioned node map that is basically unchanged from Half-Life 1 with some maybe steering adjustments and some sweep stuff, but for the most part it's still just nodes and lines. So that explains why, if you'll recall a few minutes ago, there was a head crab here that didn't know how to path to me because it thought the nearest node to me was like right here, and then it was over here, so I had to go here, then it could walk around to me. So yeah, maybe there's some node map issues here. But on the other hand, pathfinding in this is a little bit strange because of the mines. I think they purposely left this area pretty empty and blank because otherwise all the head crabs would just path through the mines and trigger the mines. So if I had to guess, that's the intention here. Maybe they left that part blank on purpose. I don't know. I can't see my crosshair. It's too bright. Ah, there we go.
Minor lacerations detected.
We can do the old Skyrim technique where you just jump on rocks. I can't see my crosshair. Okay, there we go.
Power 55%.
If I had to guess, this is a little bit about how Half-Life 2's sand trap section kind of came along, because here we're kind of doing the same thing. Sand is this hazard. And I think what's cool about mechanics like these is that it relies on environment art as like a gameplay thing, where I know I'm safe here because this isn't sand, this is rock. So I know that there's not going to be any mines, and I know there's not going to be any head crabs hidden over here. And I think that's kind of cool, right? That means, you know, it's like reading the environment gives you hints about how to play, and it's ingrained in the material. This is like a systemic environment art material kind of game design gesture that you usually don't see in shooters anymore. Maybe the last time that this happens in Counter-Strike, where you're guessing what material you can shoot through. If it's metal, you probably won't have good bullet penetration through it, but if it's like crappy wood or something, you probably have really good bullet penetration against it, right? And the other way that materials enter gameplay in a level design perspective is in Thief, where you have to watch what surface you're stepping on, because otherwise your footstep sounds might attract guards. But I think this is Half-Life's own version of this kind of footstep material mechanic. In the chat, Tin Kelp asks, oh, doesn't Left 4 Dead use a different AI navigation system? Yes, Left 4 Dead, I believe, is built on top of Counter-Strike bot technology that the Turtle Rock Studios, I think, spearheaded. So that primarily uses nav mesh stuff. But it's kind of a hacky nav mesh stuff that isn't seriously supported in the level editor. It's a nav mesh thing that you basically have to go into the engine to work with, which is annoying. Ooh, some explosive boxes. It would have been cool if you could shoot one grenade and it triggers like a chain reaction kind of thing. That might have been fun. I think this is where I was supposed to go. And I have to jump on this rock? Is that what I have to do? This is a little bit awkward. It's like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to make this jump. But then it's not obviously signposted, so it's like I'm supposed to jump and then catch it at its lowest point right there. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I going the wrong way? Or am I supposed to go up this way? No. I think that's the right way. Okay, so I'm gonna... Maybe I'm doing the wrong strategy. Maybe I should try to jump the shortest direction. Yeah, I don't really get it. What was I supposed to do here? It's like it's at that annoying level where it's just a little bit too high to go to. Am I supposed to go into the concrete bit? But that door is locked. Oh, I'm supposed to jump from the... Okay. There's a sneaky little ramp here. Ah, okay. Remember, the central rule of this stream is that it's never my fault. It's always the level designer's fault. Let me turn off the pathfinding debug. And there should be a level change. There we go. Oh, and then here's a really fun set piece. I think I'm gonna actually stop here. This is also another iconic part of Half-Life 1, so we'll want to give our full attention to this, but we'll give our full attention to it next week, I think. So in the meantime, thanks everyone for hanging out today. Hope you got some good rock nitpicking and and head crab bashing and all that. Thanks for hanging out, and see you next week when we do this exciting cliffside perilous verticality set piece thing. It's very memorable, and it'll be very interesting to see how they adapted this very memorable set piece into Black Mesa. Have a good rest of your week, everyone, and don't forget to check out other level design streamers as well. So for instance, JP LeBreton runs WOD Wednesdays, I believe probably in a few hours, coming up soon. Check out JP's channel where JP plays Doom WOD. So a very different type of level design than what I'm playing, but still very interesting and hits the same kinds of moods and notes. So hope you all have a good rest of your day, and see you next week. Bye.